Hello, welcome to the presentation. This is for our SP-26 yellow budget. These are the group members: Jack Doring, Marcel Screen, Joseph Hunter, Joe Herbert. So our agenda, we're going to go over our introduction, our tools, requirements generation, system architecture, user interface design, prototype demonstration, development, database, and then we'll have a conclusion. So what is our application? It's a mobile application that allows users to manage their financials and better understand their spending. We developed it using React Native Expo, and we implement the Plaid API for pulling user financial information. Some features include transaction categorization and importing visualization of expenses, tracking of account balances, and spending and planning. So the tools we used, so we used Android and iOS as the operating systems that our app runs on. For development, again, we used React, React Native, and Expo. Some libraries we used are React Native Paper, just standard compliant material design library, React Native Chart Kit, this is kind of for displaying charts and graphs, React Native Plaid Link SDK, which is how we interface with the Plaid API, and for integrations, Plaid, we'll talk more on that later. Database was SQLite, and our front-end design, we made our mockups in Figma, and we used Material Design as our design system. So to start this project, we brainstormed some requirements, we held meetings over Teams and discussed what features the application needed. We took notes on ideas and concepts that came up in the discussions. Then we created mockups in Figma, and using those mockups, we could see how our ideas would possibly function. We would get also we would generate new ideas. We would see areas where maybe an idea needed to change or something that we could add to add a feature. So that was very useful. So just an excerpt from our brainstorming session. We had ideas for security with a numeric PIN or using the phone's biometric authentication if it had that. Dashboard, we thought, hey, let's have a dashboard so you can check your financials at a glance with a total net worth and a pie chart categorization so you could see all the categories that you spend your money on, but in a pie chart graph to visualize it. We thought of notifications, push notifications, budget limit notifications, and transaction notifications. And as a stretch goal, we wanted the user to have the ability to search transactions for specific info. So our excerpt from our requirements. So a functional requirement. Some of them are generation of line graphs, bar graphs, and pie charts from user data. A lot of our requirements are mapped to our four main screens, which is our dashboard, transaction, account, and planner screen. Obviously, we need to integrate with the Plaid API, and then for non-functional security requirement was the PIN login, biometric login that we took from our brainstorming session, and then mapped these to actual requirements. This is just an excerpt. We have a lot more requirements than this, but you get the idea.
So this diagram here represents our system architecture. We first want to begin at the start at the top. From there, when the app boots, our play link will check to see if we have any saved login information. This comes from our storage solution of SQLite. From here, we go on two paths, being if you had an account and if you didn't. If you didn't have an account, then you'd be sent to a page that will let you set the login with at least one banking app to create an account. If you did have an account, then you have to verify it with your own biometric or password code that you would have set. From there, the Expo screen controller kicks in and is our wrapper for the entire application. On every screen, we use the header and nav bar to assist with screen navigation. From the header, we can enter into the settings screen. And from the nav bar, we can head into the menu screens, being transactions, accounts, planner, and the home screen. All these screens fetch data from the SQLite and expresses it throughout the app. Certain screens, such as transactions and accounts, have external screens attached to them to allow for a more specific viewing of the element being selected. With all these features, this wraps up the system architecture.
So for user interface design, we used material design as our design system. We used kind of a greenish blue color because it kind of reminded us of money and being more of a kind of a relaxed color. Material design is a design system from Google, and it is very cohesive and accessible design system, and it also has a lot of components that we can use, like already existing components that we can use in our designs, which helps speed up our develop and prototyping time. when we're trying to lay out the pages and stuff. So this is just an example of our markup progression. So left-hand side is our very early brainstorming markups, and the right-hand side is our more finalized version once we implemented material design and got our theming down and did some iterations. So this is our dashboard and transaction screen on this page. And then same story here. Left-hand side is the early brainstorming markups, and right-hand side is our finalized markups. So accounts and planner screens are here, so you can kind of see how our very initial ideas. We had some ideas for graphs in the accounts, and eventually we moved those graphs to be per account rather than just sitting at the bottom of the page. These are just some extra mockups, just for some various screens throughout the app, just to showcase some of the different design ideas we had using material components and using color to direct the user and elevation to direct the user on, I think I got my pointer here. So this uses elevation and color to show that this object is interactable, for instance, and then these input boxes are using material components. So now we're going to have a prototype demo.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is our app. This is the Flow budget app that me and my group have created, and this is the prototype. So, on the first screen is our dashboard. As soon as you open up the app, this is what will come up. This is the most important things, for you to look at: your net worth, so all of your accounts adding up to that total net worth. Your spending categories, what you're spending. In here we've got 3 different categories, but we do have, you can put in as many as you want. Right now we've got food at $56.78. We've got transport, $24.50, and we've got entertainment at $19 or $14.99. And then down here, the last 3 transactions in the past 3 days. Those are what we are taking into account when we are using that spending categories. Up at the top of the left, we have our settings button, which we can enable notifications, or we can turn on dark mode. At the top right is our notifications. So when you click on, we don't have any notifications currently, but when you click on that, it should bring up the notifications and all of your notifications. Then we head on over to transactions. So transactions is just a giant list of exactly what they are, transactions. So, you've got your Netflixes, your Walmart, your Ubers, Starbucks, all of your different things. And then at the top of the at the top of each, listing, you have what account it is being charged to. You've got the date, you've got the category it is a part of. So all of these different things is in this transaction category. And what this will pull from is, if we head on over to the accounts, this is what this will put, the transactions would pull from. So it would pull from all of your different accounts that through the Played API that you are able to log into that, set up your banking through that, and then get it imported into the app, so that all of these transactions are from your actual banking account. This account screen, shows your total net worth, but then also shows, your debits, your credits, all of your different accounts that you have. So whether that's with Wells Fargo or Bank of America, or Chase, Navy Federal, all of those different things can all be put into this one screen. So you can see all the different amounts you've gotten them. So on and so forth. And if you click on, let's just take account 2 down at the bottom. So you can click on each account, and and look. We do just have some generic data thrown into these charts at the moment, um, just to show that they do work. They are pretty neat. You can swipe to see, the entire year, and then same at the bottom. Spending breakdown, what you're spending and different things on, as a giant chart. So you can scroll through those and see what you're spending, see what your monthly trends are, so on and so forth. After that, we come to our last tab, which is the planner tab. We all have to plan for things, such as, a new gaming setup. I mean, some home renovations. I wish I had a house, but I don't currently. But at some point, I hopefully will. I mean, a new car. I don't know what new car is $3,000, but, maybe one day. And then vacation. You got to plan for all these different things. So this is where this keeps track. If we head over to the categories tab, this also shows a different version of the planner. So this is where you can put them that go from 7 days to a month, 6 months, a year, and then max. So right now we've got bills. We got a ton of very expensive bills. You're probably living in like Beverly Hills if you got that, all of that bills, but I mean, or that high of bills, and then you got your streaming services, because I mean, we are college students. We probably watch a lot of streaming, so that is what it is. But so this is our planner tab, the plans and the categories. And that is our app, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration, and hope to talk to y'all next time. Y'all have a great one.
So for our database, we chose to use SQLite. We chose it because it's lightweight, fast, and efficient. Database that allows for us to use a mobile application. It's a local file-based database that stores data persistently, ensuring that users can access their financial and budget information, and that is also available offline. Expo also includes Expo SQLite as a built-in module. This allows it for us to easily integrate SQLite without having to eject from Expo. We also using the Plaid API. The Plaid allows us to securely link users' financial accounts and retrieve transaction data. It connects to various bank accounts and provides real-time data about accounts, transactions, and balances. Um, it also provides us an SDK, allows us to bridge the gap between Plaid's APIs and React Native applications, which allows us to securely connect and officially link users' bank accounts with the API. Here's a list of a couple of endpoints we're going to be using for our application. Start off, the enrich endpoint enhances transaction data with additional metadata such as merchant name, category, and location. This should really be big for our charts and our metrics that kind of show you what categories you're spending your money on. There's also the balance endpoint. This provides real-time current balance information for linked accounts and also ensures that account balances are updated immediately. Lastly, the auth endpoint retrieves account and routing numbers for linked accounts and verifies user accounts securely.
So in conclusion, we told you about our mobile budgeting app, which allows users to manage their financials and track their spending. We told you how we built it with React Native and Expo, and how we leverage the Plaid API to pull and categorize user information. We told you about our database, how we use SQLite, how we can interface with the Plaid API using some of those endpoints we talked about. So that'll conclude. Oh yeah, we talked about our user interface design with material design. So that'll conclude our presentation. Thank you.